Establishing shot. Established. Happy New Year's, everybody. You may notice I have a little bit of a bug. It is true, my immune system has finally failed me. Failed might even be too strong of a word. It's done very well for 4 months of travel, and I haven't gotten terribly sick. It was just kind of contained to my sinuses, my throat, and aside from swelling my nostrils and interfering with my sleep, it didn't really put me out too much. So I think that's not too bad. So as it is New Year's, or at least New Year's has passed, I thought I'd make this video a little more pensive. Pensitive's not a word, pensive is a word. I thought I'd make this video a little more pensive. I thought I'd make it a little more reflective, a little more selfish. And if we have time, maybe start diving into more of the travel stuff. Although I don't think I'm going to get to covering the British Language Academy just yet. I think that deserves to be its own video. First thing I'd like to say is you may see me well lit here and think, holy crap, you look disheveled. I had a friend humorously refer to this as my captured Marine look. I think that's very funny. I shaved my beard before I started this travel. Obviously, if you've been following since the beginning, you may remember my clean-shaven face. And maybe a month before I started, I had shaved my head, buzzed it down at least. And I haven't cut either since, with the exception of my mustache, because I don't like eating my mustache. So they have been untouched, and well, I think that's kind of cool for two reasons. One is because they reflect the length of my travels. The length of my beard is equal to the length of my travels in some figurative way of measuring. And I also think it's cool because not getting haircuts and just letting everything grow naturally is kind of like the purest expression of your genotype, which to me, I think that's kind of cool. You're being seen how God made you, something like that. That's what it reminds me of. What are your all's goals? Grammar is hard. What are all of your goals? No, I want to address y'all. What are y'all's goals for 2020? I have not made any New Year's resolution, except for to be in the present moment for the rest of my travels. And that's it. If I achieve that for the rest of the travels, then I'll be happy with that. And then maybe I'll start making more goals. Last year I made like 12 New Year's resolutions. I don't think I succeeded any of them. And I'm okay with that, because making goals and failing is not as good as making goals and succeeding, but it's 1,000 times better than not making any goals at all. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I can tolerate that. I'm reflecting on these last 4 months, and I'm thinking how they've changed me as a person. I think there's two changes that I'm conscious of that I would talk about. One is a feeling that I have an air of competence. It's a feeling that I am more capable of things. Even though factually my competencies haven't grown all that much, I just know that I'm more reliable because I've been able to do this for 4 months. So that counts for something. And well, that's a good feeling, because competence is confidence. So you could say that my confidence has increased. I'm a different creature now than I was when I started. And I would add that the competences that I have grown are not trivial, because food is not trivial, and I've learned a lot about food. I learned a lot about cooking. I mean, I've diced a few dozen onions on this trip and learned to appreciate the value of a sharp knife versus a dull knife because of it. I've learned how to cook different cuts of meat, like pork ribs, which I'm very much looking forward to trying to. I've learned to do them in an oven, and I'm looking forward to grilling some when I get back home. I've also learned how to cook kidneys and brains. I got to eat some of those today. I picked them up from the butcher, and well, those have been, the brains particularly have been something that I have wanted but have eluded me for a very, very long time, and so I got to eat them. The brains actually were not that palatable. I forced myself to eat them anyway though, and I'm happy that I got the chance to, and I'm happy that I got the nutrients, so cool. So my cooking has improved a lot, and I'm really happy about that, and I think it's going to continue. The second thing I would reflect upon as far as how I've changed is I've really become a lot more clear about my relationship to my environment, my social environment, my physical environment. These things have a tremendous impact on me. And the biggest teacher of this lesson has been the fact that the times that we travel that are the worst for me are the times where we can stay in one place and do nothing. I hate that. I said, can do nothing. That doesn't mean you have to do nothing. That's true, that's what can means. And then you might ask, well, Alex, why don't you just go out and do something? And that's a very good question, and I don't have a great answer, but it's kind of complicated. It's something like, if you have forever to do it, if you have no time constraints, no obligation, nothing is pushing you, well, you have forever to do it, so you never do it. Because you can always just do it later. And yeah, that's weird. Not everybody's like that, but I'm really like that. So I really appreciate environments and people that push me forward. That's something that I do really well with. I think if I'm pushed, I can excel. But that gives me a lot to think about as far as what I want my life to be like in the future. I think that's all I want to say for this video. I did have an idea at one point in time that I was going to make a series of videos about spiritual lessons that I was learning or attempting to learn or something like that throughout the course of this trip. But I don't think I'm going to make them anymore because I have partially lost interest. I recorded the first video but never bothered to complete editing it or upload it. And also I'm starting to feel that maybe they were a bit presumptuous and maybe taking myself too seriously. Ooh, look at me, spiritual, shamanic, traveler, so intense. I definitely do think I am spiritually growing on this trip, but I think maybe those videos aren't needed for that. And maybe I'll do a 180 and give you guys those videos anyway. It's quite the non-statement, Alex. That's it for now. Happy New Year's. And I'll be bringing you a video about the British Language Academy here pretty shortly.